Hi guys, my name is Emilia, as you know, and we are Team One. And we are presenting here our project, and we thought to do it as a workshop. We're going to be talking about mainly about sustainability, green manufacturing techniques, and how can green manufacturing be enhanced or be improved with lean manufacturing and Six Sigma techniques. Our team is as this book, Green Manufacturing Case Studies in Leadership and Improvement. Mainly, our workshop is based in this book. This is a great one. It talks about concepts of sustainability, tools, but mainly it talks about case studies in different companies, in different common companies that we all know, as General Motors, 3M, Baxter. It's very useful. So if you want to go deeper into green manufacturing and sustainability, I totally recommend this book. So for decades, lean manufacturing has been the best way to run a manufacturing company, and lean principles have been successfully applied in many other companies, such as hospital, banking, educational institution, and government. However, will still have two fundamental challenges. The first one is that the U.S. economy as a whole is massively inefficient. Only 6% of material actually end up in products. Total waste in the United States, including water waste, now exceed 50 trillion pounds per year, and this is a big thing that we have to focus on it. And the second challenge is that short-term financial returns always trumped longer-term issues such as caring for the environment and social well-being until the long term suddenly becomes short-term, like happened with Hurricane Katrina. As you remember, that was a big thing, and scientists and the people that have been studying this hurricane determined that it was due environmental issues, and so that is why sustainability has to be an important thing for our industry to care about. So after my intervention, we're going to watch a very interesting interview with a PhD student, and she's gonna go over the main concepts of sustainability, but I'm going to tell you like a very simple definition. And sustainability is meeting the needs of the current generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. In other words, we have to conserve the things that we now have, such as water, the air, the plants, our animals, such that in a way that our children, grandchildren, and the generations to come can also enjoy the things that we are actually enjoying. So it's a great challenge for us as world citizens, but mostly for our industries, because industries are the main stakeholder that produces these damages to our environment. So it's a huge goal that all the industries have to incorporate in their annually goals. So the sustainability works in a broader way. It includes all the hierarchy steps in an industry. And it works in a four-way win. First, with the owners, when you implement sustainability, profitability and stock value normally increase. Regarding executive, sustainability will improve their financial performances and also will enhance their careers. Additionally, executives create a legacy of passing on real value to their grandchildren. Regarding the employees, people prefer to work with environmentally sustainable and socially supported operations. In my case, I will always prefer to work in a company that they will care for that. Like lean sustainability requires their commitment. That sustainability will not work if their employees are not committed. So this is a huge thing. And regarding the communities support companies that care about their long-term earth health and environment. And now we are going to watch the interview that I was saying about. The interview is with Marlene Glass. She's a PhD student, and she's now working on her dissertation, and it's all about how can green manufacturing and lean be combined and bring the best outcomes for industries. So let's go to that interview, and I hope you enjoy it.
Sustainability is the ability a resource has to be used without being completely used up or destroyed. And this actually applies to any resource, not just environmental resources. In other words, is the capacity a resource has to replenish itself, or Mother Nature to replenish it before it's completely used up or destroyed. Now, sustainability has become a buzzword lately, so its definition can change from person to person or organization to organization. So personally, I prefer the term green or greener. When we talk about a greener process or a greener product, we're referring to its ability to decrease its negative environmental impact. And this makes us think of waste reduction targets, which makes the sustainability goal more achievable, more attainable, as opposed to being just a utopic concept. There are two main reasons to go for sustainability. The first and most important one is simply because all of our Earth resources are becoming more and more scarce. As the human race exponentially multiplies, we are now consuming resources at a higher rate than they can be replenished by Mother Nature. Not to mention, we're also polluting all of our resources, polluting our environment with our highly industrialized processes. The second and more practical reason is because it makes financial sense. The less resources we use to create a product or manufacture a product, we're going to automatically save dollars. So obviously, why not do it? The most significant green project I've been involved in is called Zero Waste to Landfill. I've worked in this project with several companies here in Southwest Michigan. Zero landfill refers to our organization's ability to divert as much excess materials or waste materials away from the landfill or any other non-reclamation waste centers. And this project actually has three main steps. The first one is establish a baseline. The second one is to develop a recycling program. And the last one, and kind of ongoing one, is finding ways to continually improve our recycling programs and waste reduction efforts. These projects have many benefits, and some of them include achieving up to 98% landfill diversion. This, talking about the various projects that I've worked on and with other researchers as well. Also reducing greenhouse gas emissions by up to 360 metric tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. And finally, saving up to $125,000 per year. Additionally, other benefit that this type of project has is that as companies become closer to their zero target, to zero landfill, other waste reduction projects come up, and actually companies are able to make their processes and more efficient, to make better usage of their materials and other resources. So what starts as zero landfill, it actually becomes, waste reduction and efficiency increase in all of these companies that we've worked with.
Now I'm going to talk about how and why the company should start sustainability now. Any company that adopts sustainability will enjoy a long-term benefit in the industry. Sustainability, just like lean, has many benefits. The various benefits are reduced operating cost, attracting and retaining better long-term customers, as well as reduced risk in long term. I'm going to explain these benefits one by one to you guys. The first one is reduced operating cost. You know what they say, the money you save is the money you earn. So the more money you save, by wasting less materials is more money you earn. So by going green, you can save a lot of money, as well as uh, put this money into future development of the company. The second benefit of going for sustainability is retaining and attracting better customers. Customers like to deal with companies that are more green and have a green bottom line. Um, as well as the community prefers products that are environmentally safe, that are easily recyclable, and usually don't do harm to the planet. So by going green, a company can attract and keep long-term customers more easily. Um, Talking about the risk, a company can achieve market leadership by going green, rather than getting defeated or getting lagged by a company that is more green. Um, Companies can uh, achieve a position where there is no threat for their leadership. Um, uh, Going for sustainability is not that difficult. The path from lean to sustainability is not very tedious. Uh, just like lean, there are various tools that can be adopted to achieve sustainability. Um, a company that is already familiar with lean principles can easily adopt sustainability. The only difference is the thinking criteria. A company needs to educate all its employees as from top level to bottom level in a fashion that they have their objectives are to achieve greener outcomes. Um, Not only this is a new mental model, sustainability will also create an environment in the company where employees are happy that they are not harming the planet, as well as the products manufactured by these companies will be preferred by the community as they are green. Now, talking about the tools that can be used for sustainability, various lean tools can be used for achieving sustainability, and I'm going to introduce one by one these tools. The first one is value stream mapping. Value stream mapping uh, offers a bigger picture, a whole focus on what's going on in any organization. It focuses on the faults, as well as you get to see what quality and uh, what errors are you getting in any manufacturing or any organization. Like in the figure you can see there are three operations: milling, welding and painting. In these three operations you can very easily identify the hazard levels that are being generated by each operation. Like milling operation creates 5 pounds of hazardous waste, welding operation creates 20 pounds and painting operation creates 60 pounds. So here we can see that our focus needs to be on painting operation more rather than being on welding and milling. So value stream mapping is a very good tool that can be used for obtaining sustainability. Another great tool is work teams. Just like lean, work teams are the best way to achieve sustainability. um, Work teams are the heart of sustainability. Rather than they do all the thinking and implement all the necessary things for achieving green goals. um, Work teams, the bottom line of the work team is people, profit and planet. Rather than going for economic customer, these three bottom lines are mainly focused on. Another great tool is 5S. Just like lean, 5S acts as one of the best tools that can be used for achieving sustainability. As we know, sustain, sort, set, shine, standardize, these are the 5S. used in any organization. Some organizations even adopt safety and sustainability for achieving green results. So 5S can be easily adopted and green results can be easily obtained. There are various analysis tools that can be used. Various analysis tools like fishbone diagram. The fishbone diagram, also known as Ishikawa diagram, suggests the effects and causes that gives a response. So you can identify what factors are causing hazard and what factors are actually improving the quality. So fishbone diagram is a very good tool, analysis tool. As well as another analysis tool is Pareto chart. Pareto chart it helps to determine the effects of all factors that are affecting the cause. Another great tool is the 5 whys question. So using all these tools, sustainability can be achieved and green results can be met. Now my friend Kumar will talk about cost, paybacks and risk of sustainability.
Now I'm here to talk about the cost, paybacks and the risk for this sustainability program. In a business strategy viewpoint, starting down the sustainability program is of no loss. As Aniket said, sustainability program can easily implemented in a company which already works with the lean manufacturing process. But the companies worry only about how it will affect the next 5 to 10 years. These are the company's strategies on sustainability. If they implement the sustainability program, they have a big win, cost savings, and they have better customers, better employees, and the better suppliers. If they don't implement the sustainability program, they will have a big loss, no cost savings, and they lose best customers. These are the company's strategies on sustainability. Next, the real risk. The real risk is being in sustainability laggard, which means the things that lags. First one is the lagging the marketplace in thought leadership. US automobile manufacturers has no offerings since they met with an oil crisis in the year 2005. Next, the lagging employer will have great difficulty in attracting and retaining the best and brightest employees. Things that lags will have higher risk of insurance premiums, higher rate of financial institutions, higher risk of exclusion from markets that are strictly regulated. Finally, like lean, the major issue is major risk is not trying, the failed implementation. This is the major risk for sustainability program. Next, how to start a sustainability program. Sustainability can be started in the individual department of a company and then spread to other departments. As sustainability, ask right questions, balance societies, and many people also inherently want to support it. And it is not a hard sell, except to overcome the assumption that is economically unattractive. Then it all works in all organizations of all sizes, even in the small stores, schools, organizations, hospitals, transportation industries, and manufacturing industries, and so on. I'll just provide an example for the sustainability. Now US Army has implemented the sustainability program, but it didn't just start at the top level or even with the military personnel. It just began with the civil servant. What he did is he read a book and asked to what they plan to read and discuss a book in each group, a book a month. What the members of the group told others and gave the books to read. One of the book receiver was the commander of the port, who was shut continuously in an populous area. The community in that area was criticized by the impact of the environment there. So the commander tried to pilot the sustainability program, and he was pleased with the results he got. He also suggested this sustainability program to other base commanders. Like this, the sustainability can be implemented in the individual department of a company and then spread to other departments. Now, the relation between the lean manufacturing and the environment. Environmental concerns are a part of lean concept. The emissions of waste materials in the air and water, the solid waste, or the waste of production. Lean usually helps the environment. A recent study conducted by the Environmental Protection Agency says that through lean, many companies were saving money by taking steps that also benefited the environment. Next is the more efficient production means less energy used per unit produced. It doesn't mean that only less raw materials are used per unit produced. It also means that less waste materials emitted in the air, water, or solid waste generated per unit produced. I'll provide some examples for that. First is the General Motors. General Motors tried to implement the sustainability program in paint booth cleaning operations. The cleaning operation took place every day, but they discovered that the automated sections of the painting operations was needed only once in a week. So they implemented very efficient cleaning techniques. By implementing that, they have both production gain and environmental gain. The production gain was it reduced the downtime and improved the production flow. The environmental gain was the use of purge solvents was reduced by 3 by 8 gallons per vehicle, and the VOC emissions from purge solvents was reduced by 369 tons in the very first year when these modifications were implemented. The next example was with Goodrich Aerostructures. This company tried to implement sustainability in the chemical management systems. The staffs worked with the suppliers to get on-time delivery of products in right-sized containers. By delivering the goods in right-sized containers, they have the production gain as well as the environmental gain. By delivering the products in right-sized containers, the workers' movement in the department was reduced and the downtime was also reduced. By shifting it to correct-sized containers, it reduced the inventory, and it also minimized the chance of chemicals expiring on the shelf itself. The environmental gain was in right-sized containers, the usage of chemical was less, and it also reduced the hazardous waste generation, and it also minimized the waste generation through chemicals expiring in the shelf. The next company was Gel. This company was trying to implement sustainability in the paint stripping process. What they did is the company started to replace the paint strippers to a cabinet which uses the plastic samples to strip off the paints. By replacing the strippers with the cabinets, the production gain was it saved around $3,200 in a year for the waste disposal cost, and the environmental gain was the employees had a safer and healthier work environment by using the cabinet process. So
we are discussing about the one of the case of sustainability development in DuPont company, which is a manufacturing company related to chemical goods and paints. It was established in 1802 when there was no sustainability concepts and lean manufacturing concepts like that. But their journey began in 1989. Key to success of this company uh, their key to success, sustainable growth linked to core values of their company. That is, their core value are safety and environmental stewardship and enhancing the lives of employees and communities in which in which they operate. And other keys, the business purpose for pursuing sustainable development, and other one is guidelines that help to incorporate sustainable growth into business strategies. And next key is the ability to measure whether or not they are becoming more sustainable or not. And the final one is a means of demonstrating to themselves that progress towards sustainable growth would be central to create value. They have closer ties with their customers. They are finding better ways to listen their customers. Approximately 2 billion pounds of carpet was thrown away each year by this company. They started asking how they could make the industry more sustainable and improve their business success. And they recycle their waste products in facility in Chattanooga in Tennessee. And they use their waste with work with Ford in Canada on paint operations.
Okay, guys, we are almost coming to the end of the workshop, and I hope that you have enjoyed and learned a lot about sustainability and how our industries implementing it, and about the goals that they have achieved with the implementation of green manufacturing and Lean and Six Sigma techniques to obtain sustainability outcomes. So now we're going to go over with our last case study, and it's about 3M. You know that 3M is a very big company. You know, you have seen all their products, mainly office products, clean products. So they are very this is a very big company. So they had been widely recognized as a pioneer in corporate pollution prevention. They are very big at that. And in 2005, 3M's Pollution Prevention PACE 3P program celebrated its 30th anniversary. So they have been, incorporating sustainability techniques from a lot of time back. So they are very big at sustainability. Over the last 31 years, the program has prevented more than 2.6 million pounds of pollutants and saved more than 1 million based on aggregated data from the first year of this 3P program project. The 3P program helps prevent pollution at the source. They don't work like with after the pollution has impact the environment. They are working from the source, and this is like the tendency for sustainability, not working after, so before. So rather than removing it after, it has been created from before. So 3PM projects typically focus on production reformulation, process modification, equipment redesign, and recycling and reuse of waste materials. As of 2006, 3M employees worldwide has completed more than 6,000 projects related to sustainability. So that's a big thing. So this program is a key element for 3M's environmental strategy and in moving towards to sustainability. 3P, the project, has achieved that status based on the belief that a prevention approach is more environmentally effective, of course, than a approach that is going after the damage. So now I'm going to go over how they had been incorporating Lean, how they've been incorporating lean techniques and Six Sigma techniques to their sustainability projects. You know that in industry environment, Six Sigma is more related to quality problems, but now Six Sigma is a big tool for green projects. It has been proved that you can get better outcomes of implementing these techniques. So 3M knows that, and they has also been a pioneer in the use of this technique, method, and tools to improve operations and quality. While Lean Six Sigma activity had been underway throughout 3M for several years, 3M launched a corporate-wide Lean Six Sigma initiative in February 2001 with senior leadership support. You know that is a big thing, that to have management support. Lean and Six Sigma methodologies provide a strong focus for enterprise-wide implementation and are not viewed as a basic components of 3M corporate culture. 3M's Lean Six Sigma vision is achieving breakthrough performance for our customers, employees, and shareholders. It's firmly rooted in the company's long history and culture innovations. And now, so you can see how these techniques has enhanced their goals. I'm going to go over some of their environmental goals from 2000 to 2005 and how they set a goal, but they got a greater outcome because they applied these techniques. So the first one is the first goal is to reduce volatile air emissions, and the goal was set for 25%, but they actually got 61% for that goal. They also set a goal to reduce U.S. Environmental Protection Agency toxic release inventory, most common known as TRA releases emissions, and they set the goal for 50%, but they actually got 64%. They also set a goal to generally reduce waste, and it was set to 25%, but they actually got 30%. And lastly, they also set a goal for improved energy efficiency, as you know, for the whole plants. And they set the goal for 20%, but actually they got 27%. And now their they now has sustainability goals for this year, and they also incorporated social responsibility goals. So the first one related to environmental is to reduce VOC air emissions by 50%, reduce waste by 10%, improve energy efficiency by 25%, reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 5%, and lastly, and this is a new one, develop water conservation plans. And this is like a new trend for sustainability, to incorporate water conservation. You know that water is a big thing now, so this is a good thing that they has incorporated that. And regarding social responsibility, that is, you know, a new category for sustainability goals. The first one is to develop community stakeholder engagement. You know, as I think Aniket explained Aniket explained that in order to get good outcomes in a sustainability project, you have to incorporate your community, all the stakeholders related to the company, so it can be achieved. So that's a big thing. And the last one regarding to social responsibility is to promote a road to environmental, healthy, and safety excellence when they build new sites or facilities. And regarding economic success, they set a goal to review at least 80% of supplier expense in China, India, Korea, Malaysia, Taiwan, Thailand, Brazil, Mexico, Russia, and Turkey. And the last one about economic success is to enhance their environmental sustainability attributes on new products. So they want to create more sustainability products, organic, clean products, and things that you can recycle, like bottles, offices, supplies. So they are very big at that. So this is the last case study, and now Aniket is going to conclude this workshop.
So all the data and results from the case studies show that by implementing sustainability, a company can yield positive outcomes and harm the planet Earth less. So there's really no alternative to sustainable development. Moreover, companies are convinced that they can achieve a competitive edge by being more eco-friendly. Although it's not easy to go green, but by realigning their strategies, any company can achieve sustainable goals. And I hope you guys liked our workshop, and now we would like to show you guys a video which will help you guys to achieve green goals in your day-to-day living. And finally,
Go green.
Go green.
The pressure we put on social and ecological systems is like the pressure on this piece of spaghetti. We know what's going to happen if we keep pushing, right? People ask, but when will it break? We don't know. What we do know is that if we keep pushing, it's bound to break at some point.